Hi, my name is Mark Atwood. Behind me is my garden wasteland here in Marrakesh in Morocco, which over the next 6 months I hope to turn into a completely sustainable permaculture garden that will feed my family of 5 children, my wife and other people that come to the house and people in the local community. Before I go into this, I need to explain that when I was a kid in the 1970s in England, my dad, in fact not just my dad, but everybody had gardens out the back of their houses. I lived on a council estate in a village in Northamptonshire, and we had gardens out the back, and I used to hate gardening. I hated it. And I hated it because my dad would say, come and pick the beans, come and plant this, come and dig this. Looking back on it, I feel like a right numpty because I really missed out on something. And when I moved here to Morocco 3 years ago, I had this dream of being self-sustainable, organic, etc. And then I started looking around and I realized I went to all the seed shops locally and I realized that most of the seeds were actually from Monsanto. A lot of them are GMO. They've definitely got pesticide. The pesticide use here is really high. And this is not good. This is not good because I'm trying to live a sovereign life. I'm trying to live a life of sustainability, a life of financial freedom, a life of food freedom. And this is really part of, being healthy and not being reliant upon the system, not being reliant upon the banks, the supermarkets and everything else. And if shit does hit the fan, if there's a financial crash, what are you going to do? You need food. You need food to eat. So I'm going to turn this into something that not only will feed us and feed the people locally, but also that I'm going to feel good about. I'm going to feel good about putting this food into my kids' mouths. I'm going to feel, and then the kids are going to learn. We're homeschooling here, and the kids are already getting involved in this garden. But I've made a complete mess of it so far. This is the 3rd year now, and the first time I tried to do this, I didn't know what I was doing. Then I started reading and studying. Then, the way the law of attraction works is that I put it out there that I needed to learn about permaculture. And then suddenly, I had permaculture people coming at me from all angles. And one of those was a really good guy called Bilal, who's holding the camera right now. Hi, Bilal.
Hello.
And you're going to meet Bilal later in this film. And Bilal is Belgian, Moroccan. He's here, he's got a massive heart. He's been massively into plants since he was a kid. And we've had lots and lots of conversations. And today we have decided to start this project. So come on the journey as we try to show you how to practically, easily and cheaply create a permaculture organic garden that will feed you and your family forever and ever and ever. So enjoy. I'm going to get the seeds now for the manure.
يا كنديروا واحد الفيديو على حسب البداية ديال ديك الحيرة. السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم. القماح, le blé, the one we use for bread.
Oh yeah, wheat.
Wheats, yeah, wheats.
What are these?
And that's واش هادشي البرسيم ولا الفصة? That's alfalfa.
That's alfalfa.
Yeah. It's the little one. The beans, other kind of beans here. Jumbo, that's summer seeds. It's not for now. So we will do a melting pot, a mesclun of many vegetables to do a real big cover on
to kill the weeds.
Your garden, to struggle the weeds, because the weeds are needing to. The soil never like to be naked, so it will always look for some kind of weeds to cover it. So if we don't cover it, it will cover by itself. And the cover that is now yet on your garden, it's not beneficial for us because it's pretty invasive, and we will just start a new cover of your garden with some kind of annual seeds that will be able to do a big amount of biomass and give a lot of foods to microbiological and microbiology at all in your soil. So everything will start and you will not be in need of anything from outside. as well as microorganism, as well as fertilizer, as well as fungus and pesticide, because you will have a healthy garden, so it will not be necessary to treat it or to look for any treatment. We got a melting pot of seeds. Here we got the big beans, the little beans, the one known in Europe. Here it's white radish, daikon. You can call it daikon. And here two kind of cereals, the wheat. Here you got the oats.
The oats and the wheat.
And there the wheats. And so the meaning of all that plants, it's to give many levels of restructuration on the soil by the mechanical work of the roots.
So we're going to densely populate the soil with different plants
on
different
many
layers,
levels, many layers.
Pushes out the weeds.
Pushes out the weeds, increase the production and growth of all the microbiological system of your soil, and start the regeneration of the soil by the big amount of biomass that will be harvesting on that.
What we need now is manure.
We need manure, and a really easy way to start this, it's not to till your soil. You just have to take all the seeds, mix with them the half parts of sand or soil, whatever you have, in a big barrel, and then you just spread it on your soil. You walk on it, push on it with your feet when you will be working, when you will be on the work of spreading the manure. And after that, with the big layer of manure that will be implanting on your soil, the calefaction, the soil will start to heat, and by this heat all the seeds will start their germination, and in 1 month or 2 months we will be able to just cut everything on the soil to cover it again, start the fermentation of them, and so the feeding of all the microbiological system, and then start to implant, to put the rose beds and the seeds of vegetables for the kitchen and family.
Right, so let's go and get the manure, which is that way. So how do you get 5 tons of horseshit into a lorry in half an hour? And basically you just go and hire a lorry, a couple of guys, and there it is, being loaded up, doing the local equestrian centre a favour. And here's Brahim and Bilal supervising the horseshit. The manure has arrived here, but before we put the manure on, we've got to put the seeds on the garden, which I'll show you in a second. Going up my fingernails.
What?
Going up my fingernails.
Yeah. Here's the cereals.
This is the cereal, yeah.
The oats, and we will add the wets now.
Give them a bit.
When you are on a long-term project, you can easily put 2 buckets of soil with it and water it until the soil will cover all the seeds and give them a protection against the sun, against birds, and also a reserve of humidity, because if you got a kind of rain like this night, if there is a big cover on soil on it, like maybe I can try now. It's like the wet one. You take some seeds, you put on it, and you mix it. And normally when the soil is watering well, they will be completely recovered by soil and give them the protection against birds and a big part of humidity to start the germination, even if you don't put them inside the soil. So it give us a lot of ability to just spread them on the soil, recover them with manure, and start the project without labor or bad works.
So this is the vegetable garden in my house. I think it's about 372 square meters, and this is the 3rd year here. And you can see the failed attempts last time. It wasn't a complete failure. We got kale, we got beetroot, we got potatoes, but then it kind of just lost steam. And it's because I didn't have a clue what I was doing, which is why I've decided, after reading up about it and everything else, to get Bilal involved, to create a permaculture garden here that will feed my family, feed the locals, because this is too big actually to feed my family. If we do this whole garden the way that we want to do it, it's going to create more than enough food for us, and then we're just going to give the other stuff, the surplus, away to the local villagers and stuff, because that kind of encourages health and vitality and community and all of those kind of things. So at the moment you can see it's a bit of a wasteland. There are remnants of what was left before.
Cabbage.
This is a cabbage, yeah.
Broccoli one.
Broccoli. We used to have a lot of kale here, some potatoes down here, but we've still got some coriander growing over there and everything else. And we've got the trees here, and the trees are really important because the shade. And because we're in Morocco, the sun just destroys the plants.
55 degrees.
55 degrees last summer. It was hot. You know, you couldn't sit outside in it for 5 minutes. So how do you expect? The kale survived quite well.
Great.
But this is there's my attempts at the greenhouse over there, which we're going to redo. This is going to become a nursery. And this area here, which is currently just gone to grass, we're going to do something, probably wildflowers and mixed in with some other things there to encourage the bees and the insects and that kind of thing. But this is the canvas upon which we're going to build a permaculture, self-sustaining, organic powerhouse for my family and for the local community. So
we are gonna to start a regeneration of this site, this future vegetable garden that will be self-sufficient and increase the quality of the soil. Here we got soil, a naked soil with a lot of weeds like this one, or many other ones that you can see all around this place, and really poor amounts of humus, so organic matters. So how we gonna start? To start easily without a lot of work, it's just to spread the maximum of biodiversity in annual plant like cereals and beans that can do a big amount of biomass to cover the soil, because the soil never wants to be naked, to increase the fertility, to activate the microsystem organisms, and also to give us free rows of weeds. So that's the first part. How to do it without tools, without mechanical use. It's just to spread a melting pot of seeds. Here you got big beans, the little ones, wheats, oats.
Now this whole bucket of seeds cost about £12 here.
Yeah,
and,
so
you know that's a lot cheaper than, and the manure cost us about £40 for 4 or 5 tons. So compare that to going to a garden centre in England or anywhere in Europe or America.
And when you see the 25 kilo bag of organic fertilizer that will cost maybe £30, you are really fucked up by commercial system. So the best way to start a project, it's not to buy the microorganism or even nothing from outside. You just have to regenerate your soil, and everything is on your garden. Everything is here. So you just have to give him the pleasure to start again to grow, to start the growing again.
It's all about the foundation now.
Yeah, it's all about the foundation of?
The foundation?
Yeah, just the foundation.
Yeah.
So we will spread it, add manure above them, and by the work of spreading the manure, you will see all the seeds like those one will be just putting on the soil by our feet, and this simple work will give a great results that you can see on this place like 2 months. In 2 months.
2 months time.
Yeah, in 2
cool.
months.
Let's
time.
get on with spreading the seeds then.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Feel free to do it naturally. Don't do a saccade movement. It will be a really flex movement. It will be really wide. Like I will start with little pieces, and the idea is to cross 2 lines of spreading seeds to be sure that all the place is completely covered by seeds. So when you start there, you have to go back after like 4 meters in the right and do it again in the reverse place to put them on the other surface of the walls. And if you can go more on this side. Girl, if you can, we must go on the other place of the garden because I just already saw all this area. Let's go over.
So this is the first of the compost going down in the garden. Brahim working hard. Quite a bit of work.
Hello.
Salam alaikum.